Hello friends, welcome back to Old Coins News. In today's video, we'll talk about 4 interesting US $1 coins, including the 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar, 2000 D Sacagawea dollar, and 2001 P Sacagawea dollar. We'll explore their history, mint marks, and possible value for collectors, so make sure to watch the video until the end. The 1979 D. The 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar is one of the most interesting modern United States coins because it represents a major change in American coinage history. This coin was produced by the United States Mint in 1979 at the Denver Mint, which is why it carries a D mint mark. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Susan B. Anthony, one of the most important leaders of the women's suffrage movement in the United States. Her work in advocating for women's voting rights helped shape American democracy, and placing her portrait on a circulating coin was a historic moment because she became the first real woman, not a symbolic figure, to appear on a regular U.S. circulating coin. Before this, female figures on coins were usually symbolic representations such as liberty rather than real historical individuals. The obverse design of the 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar shows Anthony's right-facing portrait created by U.S. Mint chief engraver Frank Gasparro. Around the portrait you will see several inscriptions that are standard on American coins. At the top is the word liberty, which represents freedom and the founding ideals of the United States. To the right side of the portrait appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," which has appeared on most U.S. coins since the 19th century and became the official national motto of the United States in 1956. The year 1979 is located at the bottom of the coin, indicating when it was minted. Near the date is a small D mint mark, showing that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint facility. Surrounding the entire design are 13 small stars, which symbolize the original 13 colonies that formed the United States. The reverse side of the 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar carries a design adapted from the famous Apollo 11 moon landing mission insignia. This reverse design was also created by Frank Gasparro and features a bald eagle landing on the surface of the moon while holding an olive branch in its talons. The olive branch represents peace, while the eagle symbolizes strength and the national identity of the United States. Behind the eagle you can see the Earth floating in space, representing humanity's home planet and the achievement of reaching the moon. Around the rim of the reverse are the inscriptions United States of America and $1, which identify the country and the coin's denomination. Above the eagle appears a Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, which reflects the idea that the United States is formed from many states and people united as one nation. When the U.S. government introduced this coin in 1979, it was meant to replace the large and heavy Eisenhower dollar. Lawmakers believed that a smaller, lighter dollar coin would be easier to use in everyday transactions, vending machines, and public transportation systems. However, the coin size turned out to be one of its biggest problems. The 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar was very similar in size and color to the Washington quarter, which caused confusion among the public. Many people accidentally spent the dollar coin thinking it was a quarter, and because of this confusion, the coin never became very popular in circulation. The physical characteristics of the 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar are also important for collectors and coin enthusiasts. The coin is made from a copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. It weighs 8.1 grams and has a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, making it significantly smaller than earlier dollar coins. The coin's edge is reeded, meaning it has small vertical grooves around the edge similar to many other U.S. coins. This reeded edge helps prevent counterfeiting and also allows people to identify the coin by touch. Production numbers for the 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar were extremely high. The Denver Mint produced approximately 288 million coins in 1979 alone. Because such a large number were minted, most circulated examples today are not particularly rare. Many of these coins were stored in government vaults for years because the public did not use them frequently. As a result, even decades later, it is still possible to find relatively well-preserved examples. For coin collectors, the value of a 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar depends heavily on its condition. In heavily circulated condition, the coin is generally worth around $1 to $2, which is only slightly above face value. Coins in uncirculated condition with strong luster and minimal contact marks may sell for $3 to $10 depending on their grade. However, coins that receive very high grading scores from professional grading companies such as Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company can sometimes reach $50 or more, especially if they are graded at the top levels like MS-67 or higher. Collectors also look for special varieties and errors in the 1979 Susan B. Anthony series. One of the most famous varieties is the 1979 wide rim or near-date variety, but this variety mainly appears on coins minted in Philadelphia without a mint mark. The 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar generally does not have the same dramatic variety, yet collectors still search for errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, clip planches, or die cracks. If such mint errors are found, the coin's value can increase significantly depending on the rarity and visibility of the error. Historically, the Susan B. Anthony dollar series were produced only for a short period. The coins were minted from 1979 to 1981, and then production stopped because they were unpopular in circulation. However, in 1999, the United States Mint briefly produced the coin again to meet demand from vending machine companies and transit systems until a new Sacagawea dollar could be introduced in 2000. Even though the Susan B. Anthony dollar was not widely used in everyday commerce, it still holds an important place in U.S. coin history because it honored a major civil rights leader and represented an effort to modernize the American dollar coin. The 1999 piece Susan B. Anthony dollar is one of the most interesting modern $1 coins issued by the United States Mint. This coin carries several famous American inscriptions including Liberty, In God We Trust, E Pluribus Unum, and United States of America, $1. The letter P on the coin indicates that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the oldest and most important minting facilities in the United States. The year 1999 is particularly special for this series because it marked the final return of the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin after production had already stopped in the early 1980s. The coin was produced again because the United States government needed more dollar coins for circulation, especially for vending machines, transit systems, and other automated payment systems. Even though the coin looks simple at first glance, it represents an important piece of American history, culture, and coinage development. The design on the front side of the coin, known as the obvos, features a portrait of Susan B. Anthony, one of the most influential leaders in the history of the American women's rights movement. Susan B. Anthony spent most of her life fighting for equality and the right of women to vote in the United States. Her activism, speeches, and political efforts helped inspire the movement that eventually led to the approval of the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution in 1920, which granted women the right to vote nationwide. By placing her portrait on a circulating coin, the United States honored her legacy and recognized the importance of the struggle for equal rights. The portrait used on the coin was designed by Frank Gasparro, who served as a chief engraver of the U.S. Mint and created several important coin designs during the 20th century. Around the portrait appears the word liberty, which represents freedom and democratic ideals. The phrase In God We Trust appears to the left of the portrait, reflecting a motto that has been used on American coins since the 19th century. The year 1999 is placed at the bottom, and the small P mint mark appears near the shoulder of Susan B. Anthony, identifying the coin production location. The reverse side of the coin carries an image deeply connected to one of the greatest achievements in human history, the moon landing. The design shows an eagle landing on the surface of the moon while holding an olive branch, symbolizing peace. This design was inspired by the mission patch of Apollo 11, the historic space mission that successfully landed the first humans on the moon in 1969. The astronauts of this mission, including Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, became legendary figures in space exploration. The eagle design connects the coin to American scientific achievement and national pride. Around the top edge of the reverse are the words United States of America and $1, clearly indicating the coin's country of origin and denomination. Near the bottom appears the Latin motto E Pluribus Unum, which translates to out of many, one. This motto represents the unity of the United States as a nation formed from many states, cultures, and peoples. The 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar was actually a continuation of a series that first began in 1979. At that time, the U.S. government wanted to replace the large and heavy Eisenhower dollar with a smaller and more practical dollar coin. The The new design featuring Susan B. Anthony was chosen because it honored a real historical figure and also represented progress in recognizing women's contributions to American society. However, the coin quickly faced a major problem. Its size and color were very similar to the Washington quarter. Because of the similarity, many people confused the two coins in everyday transactions. As a result, the Susan B. Anthony dollar never became popular among the public, and production stopped after 1981, with a small additional run in 1981 mainly for collectors. Nearly 2 decades later, in the late 1990s, the United States once again faced a shortage of dollar coins. The government was preparing to introduce a new golden-colored dollar coin known as the Sacagawea dollar, which would be launched in the year 2000. However, the new coins were not ready yet, and demand for dollar coins remained high. To fill the gap, the U.S. Mint decided to produce Susan B. Anthony dollars again for one final year in 1999. Millions of these coins were struck and released into circulation to meet the demand for vending machines and other automated systems that required dollar coins. From a technical perspective, the 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar has very specific physical characteristics. The coin is made from a copper core sandwich between layers of copper nickel, giving it a silver-like appearance similar to many other modern U.S. coins. It weighs approximately 8.1 grams and has a diameter of 26.5 millimeters. The edge of the coin is reeded, meaning it has small ridges around the side. These ridges were originally introduced on coins to prevent people from shaving off small amounts of precious metal, but today they are mainly a design tradition and a way to help people identify coins by touch. In terms of production numbers, the 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar had a mintage of roughly 29 million coins, making it relatively common compared with many older U.S. coins. Because of this large mintage, most examples found in circulation today are worth only their face value of $1. However, collectors still appreciate the coin because it represents the final year of the Susan B. Anthony series. Coins that remain in uncirculated condition, meaning they have never been used in everyday transactions and still retain their original mint luster, can be worth several dollars. Coins graded in very high condition by professional grading organizations such as a professional coin grading service or the Numismatic Guarantee Company may sell for significantly higher prices. Collectors also search for mint errors on 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollars. These errors can occur during the minting process and may include double strikes, off-center designs, die cracks, or other unusual features. Because such errors are rare, they can make an otherwise common coin much more valuable. For example, a coin with a clear double die error or a major misstrike can sometimes sell for hundreds of dollars depending on its condition and rarity. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar is one of the most significant modern coins produced by the United States Mint. This coin was introduced in the year 2000 as part of a new effort by the United States government to create a dollar coin that the public would actually use in everyday transactions. Earlier attempts, especially the Susan B. Anthony dollar, had failed to gain widespread popularity because the coin looked too similar in size and color to the quarter. To solve this problem, the United States Mint created a completely new design and also changed the color of the coin by using a special manganese brass alloy that gives it a golden appearance. The result was the Sacagawea dollar, a coin that honors an important historical figure while also marking a technological and artistic change in American coinage. The obverse side of the 2000 Sacagawea dollar features the portrait of Sacagawea, a Native American woman who played a crucial role in early United States exploration. Sacagawea was a young Shoshone woman who helped guide the famous Lewis and Clark expedition. During this expedition, she helped the explorers communicate with Native American tribes, find food, and navigate through difficult terrain. Her presence with her infant son also signaled peaceful intentions to tribes they encountered. Because of her courage, intelligence, and contribution to American exploration history, she became a powerful symbol of cooperation and discovery. On the coin, she is shown carrying her infant son Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau on her back, a detail that adds emotional and historical depth to the design. The portrait of Sacagawea on the coin was designed by artist Glenna Goodacre, while the sculpting and engraving were completed by Thomas D. Rogers. The obverse design shows Sacagawea looking over her shoulder toward the viewer, with a calm but determined expression. The word liberty appears to the right side of her portrait, symbolizing the core American value of freedom. Above the portrait appears 17 stars, which represent the number of states in the Union at the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. The national motto, "In God We Trust," appears on the left side of the coin. At the bottom is the date 2000, indicating the year the coin was minted. Near the date is a small D mint mark, showing that this particular coin was produced at the Denver Mint. The reverse side of the 2000 D Sacagawea dollar features a dramatic and symbolic design created by artist Thomas D. Rogers. The central image is a soaring bald eagle surrounded by 17 stars. The eagle represents strength, independence, and the spirit of the United States. The 17 stars once again symbolize the 17 states that existed when the Lewis and Clark expedition began. Around the top of the coin appears the inscription United States of America, identifying the issuing country. At the bottom is the denomination $1, which tells the value of the coin. The Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, appears on the reverse as well, reflecting the unity of the American states and people. The 2000 D Sacagawea dollar was made using a special metallic composition designed to create its distinctive golden color while still keeping production costs relatively low. The coin is made from a manganese brass-clad composition consisting of about 88.5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, and 2% nickel. Despite its golden color, the coin actually contains no gold. The manganese brass alloy was chosen because it provides durability, corrosion resistance, and unique appearance that distinguishes the coin from other U.S. coins. The coin weighs 8.1 grams, has a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, and features a smooth edge with lettering patterns and reading segments that help people identify the coin by touch. This design also helps vending machines recognize the coin more easily. When the Sacagawea dollar was first released in 2000, the United States Mint produced a massive number of coins to ensure that they would be available throughout the country. The Denver Mint struck approximately 518 million of these coins during that first year. Because of this extremely large mintage, the 2000 D Sacagawea dollar is not considered rare in most circulated conditions. Many of these coins were stored in banks or used primarily in vending machines, transit systems, and casinos rather than circulating widely among the general public. As a result, many coins from this year still exist in relatively good condition today. One of the most fascinating stories connected to the Sacagawea dollar involves a special promotional program involving the company General Mills. When the coin was first released in 2000, General Mills placed thousands of newly minted Sacagawea dollars inside boxes of Cheerios cereal as part of a nationwide promotion. Some of these coins were struck using a slightly different reverse design with enhanced tail feather details on the eagle. These coins later became known among collectors as the Cheerios Sacagawea dollars. Today, these special coins are extremely valuable and can sell for thousands of dollars depending on their condition and certification by professional grading companies. For collectors, the value of a standard 2000 D Sacagawea dollar depends mainly on its condition and grading. In circulated condition, the coin is usually worth about $1 to $2, which is close to its face value. Coins that remain in uncirculated condition with strong original luster may sell for $3 to $10. However, coins graded at extremely high levels by professional grading services such as Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company can reach significantly higher values. In top grades such as MS-67 or MS-68, collectors may pay $100 or more, especially if the coin has exceptional strike quality and surface preservation. Collectors also search for unusual mint errors in Sacagawea dollars from the year 2000. Some of the most desirable mint errors include off-center strikes, double die varieties, clip planches, and die cracks. Occasionally, coins are also found with missing edge details or unusual strike characteristics, which can make them particularly valuable to error coin collectors. Because the Sacagawea dollar series introduced new minting technology and materials, early production coins sometimes show unique characteristics that attract collector interest. Even though the Sacagawea dollar did not completely replace the $1 bill in everyday use, the coin remains an important part of modern American numismatic history. It marked the beginning of a new era of golden-colored U.S. dollar coins and later led to other series such as the Presidential $1 coin program and the Native American $1 coin program. These later coins continued the golden dollar concept and honored important figures and events in American history. The 2001 P Sacagawea dollar is part of the modern United States Golden Dollar Coin series introduced by the United States Mint. This coin represents an important period in American coinage when the government attempted to encourage the public to use dollar coins instead of paper dollar bills. After earlier dollar coins such as the Susan B. Anthony dollar failed to gain wide popularity, the United States Mint decided to redesign the coin with a completely new look and a distinctive golden color. The Sacagawea dollar series began in 2000 and continued for many years, honoring Native American history and the exploration of the American West. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the oldest minting facilities in the United States and has been producing coins since 1792. The obverse design of the 2001 Sacagawea dollar features a portrait of Sacagawea, a Native American woman remembered for her vital role in helping guide the famous Lewis and Clark expedition. Sacagawea was a young Shoshone woman who traveled with the explorers Meriwether Lewis and William Clark across the western territories of the United States. During the expedition, she helped the group communicate with Native American tribes, find food, and navigate unfamiliar landscapes. Her knowledge of the land and her ability to translate languages were extremely valuable to the explorers. On the coin, she is shown carrying her infant son Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau on her back, which reflect historical accounts describing how she traveled with the expedition while caring for her child. The portrait used on the coin was created by American sculptor Glenna Goodacre, while the final engraving work was completed by Thomas D. Rogers. In the design, Sacagawea is shown looking over her shoulder toward the viewer with a calm and determined expression. Her hair flows behind her, and her infant son is wrapped in a traditional cradle board on her back. The word liberty appears on the right side of the portrait, representing the ideals of freedom and independence that are central to American identity. The phrase, "In God We Trust," which is a national motto of the United States, appears on the left side of the coin. Above the portrait are 17 stars, symbolizing the 17 states that existed in the United States when the Lewis and Clark expedition began in 1804. At the bottom of the coin appears the date 2001, along with a P mint mark, which indicates that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse design of the 2001 Sacagawea dollar features a powerful and symbolic image of soaring bald eagle, which is a national bird and one of the most recognizable symbols of the United States. The eagle is surrounded by 17 stars representing the same 17 states from the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. This reverse design was created by Thomas D. Rogers. Around the edge of the coin you can see the inscription United States of America, which identifies the issuing country. Beneath the eagle appears the denomination $1, which indicates the coin's value. The Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, also appears on the reverse, symbolizing the unity of the states that form the nation. The physical characteristics of the 2001 Sacagawea dollar make it unique among U.S. coins. The coin is made from a special manganese brass alloy that gives it a distinctive golden color. The composition includes approximately 88.5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, and 2% nickel. Even though the coin appears golden, it does not contain actual gold. The alloy was carefully chosen to create a durable coin that would resist wear and corrosion while also standing out visually from other coins such as quarters and dimes. The coin weighs 8.1 grams and has a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, making it similar in size to the earlier Susan B. Anthony dollar, but much easier to distinguish because of its color and smooth edge. The edge of the 2001 Sacagawea dollar is unique because it is a smooth surface with small sections of reading rather than a fully reeded edge. This design helps vending machines and coin-operated devices recognize the coin more easily. The smooth edge also gives the coin a distinctive feel when held in the hand. These design features were intended to encourage greater public acceptance of the dollar coin for everyday use. During 2001, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of Sacagawea dollars. The total minted for the 2001 Sacagawea dollar was approximately 62 million coins, which is significantly lower than the mintage of the year 2000 coins, but still large enough that the coin remains relatively common today. Because the coin was produced in large quantities, many examples still exist in both circulated and uncirculated condition. For collectors, the value of the 2001 Sacagawea dollar depends mainly on its condition. Coins that have circulated heavily and show signs of wear are usually worth around $1 to $2, which is close to their face value. Coins that remain in uncirculated condition with strong original luster may sell for $3 to $8 depending on their quality. However, Coins that receive extremely high grades from professional grading companies, such as Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company, can be worth much more. A coin graded MS-67 or higher can sometimes sell for $80 to $150 or more, especially if the coin has exceptional surface quality and a strong strike. Collectors also search for unusual mint errors and varieties in Sacagawea dollars. Some of the most interesting errors include off-center strikes, double die varieties, die cracks, and clip planches. Error coins occur during the minting process when something goes wrong with the machinery or the metal blank. Because these errors are rare, collectors often pay significantly higher prices for them compared to normal coins. The Sacagawea dollar series later evolved into the Native American $1 coin program, which began in 2009. In that program, the obverse portrait of Sacagawea remained the same, but the reverse design changes each year to honor different Native American achievements and contributions to American history. This program helped keep the Sacagawea dollar design relevant while also educating the public about Native American heritage.